Okay, so now we're going to talk about use of images, okay, in your covers. Now, you can have a full background image, or I would suggest really partial image in your book, um, on your book cover, something of that sort. We'll be talking about different effects and things that we can do in the future lectures. So, before I talk about where to get the images from and how to bring them in, um, be very careful of copyright usage of images. So, for instance, if you were wanting to go onto Google Images, which is, that's fine, try to make sure that you've selected the results to have usage rights allowed on it. But even then, I'm not too certain how accurate those are, so be very careful if you're using images from Google Images. Probably best two options would be either to use your own images that you've taken yourself, ones you know that you're free to use, your images, or use a one of the websites which you can join and buy or pay for the rights to use an image, in which case, of course, then it's all legal and above board. If you want to have a look at the site that I use, it's called Fotolia. So in fact, I'll got it in my favorites here. So if I go through to click on the Fotolia, I'll just open that in a new tab. So I'm not sure how quick that'll load up. So I'm not logged in here, but if I was to log in, but you can still search through. So they've got a massive amount of images on here, photos, illustrations. You can split it down to that or whatever you want to do. You can enter your keywords here and search for the image that you want. Then you logged in, you buy credits, and then each image will, depending on the size of the image, will have different amount of credits on them. So that's probably what I would suggest, for your images there. But for the purposes of demonstration, we're just going to go and get some images from Google. I'm not going to worry about selecting Google rights and usage, but I'll show you how to do that. But we're just going to bring some images. So let's say let's pick a car. Let's just type in car here and just see what results come up. So it's usually a little bit slow, this part. So what you can do here is actually quite a good thing of, so if we click on search tools, it's a little bit slow. So I'm after a little bit of a wait. Right, now what we've got here is usage rights. So if we click down here, you'll notice one here is labeled for reuse with modification, or labeled for reuse. Reuse and modification is probably quite good because we'll be modifying the images and changing them in some way and using parts of them and so on. But again, I would just check. Now each of these images that come up, you can actually check on the website as well. And what you can do is have different types of images. Now there's different types, will probably be all mixed here, so you'd have to have a check to see what it comes out as. But if it's JPEG or bitmap, but the common one is JPEG, the end of the file name is JPG. That will be where you have, so this car says JPEG, that's where there's nothing transparent. You get all the white background, shadow, and the car and everything. Or you can pick it so that it's .png, the extension will be, and that's a file usually where if you pick this one as a PNG, it means that the car would be there, but the background wouldn't. So that's quite handy if you don't want to have the square background on your screen. So I must admit, for most of the choices I make, I use that. Easy way to do it from here is to click on color and click on transparent. As you see, that resorts results. Now all of these will be ping. So we're going to use a ping. I'm just going to pick this nice red Audi. Now, if you click on visit page, that will take you to the website. You could check perhaps usage rights or contact the owner, make sure it's okay to use the picture. I haven't selected usage rights on this, so this probably isn't, but it's fine to use it in this course. So I'm not actually putting it and using it in a physical book cover. I'm just using it for demonstration purposes only. So we can click view image, and there's the image on the screen. Now you notice up in the address bar, if you click that there so I can see it, it's got the website, where it is in the folder, and the name of the image. But you notice it ends in PNG. Anything that ends in PNG means that the background will be transparent, will be invisible. You'll be able to see through all this, only this bit. If it's JPG, then obviously everything you see will be captured. So what you would do here is, if you want to bring it from any URL, this is a URL, okay, web address. We just simply copy that. So I'm going to copy that address. Now if you go in here, you want to bring it in here, you can do image import. So there's open image as layer. So that brings it, makes a new layer. Okay. So you can do it from your computer is that one, from URL is that one, and from the library. So that's what I was saying before. If you've got an account, for your account like I have here, I'm logged in, you can save it to their image library for later use. So for this one, we're going to click URL. I'm just going to simply paste in the address we've just copied. Okay. I don't think it's actually copied it, so we'll just try that again. I'll do it with a mouse this time. I'll paste in. There we are. So click that. It just takes a few moments, depending on the size of the image. There we are. Now size might be bigger or smaller or whatever. Now from there we can use our free transform tool to change the size of the image. Now when we're changing this, I didn't say this before, not so much important with text, you know, you can do it with text, but when it's images, you don't, if I was to change the size of that, so like that, it makes the car a funny shape, okay, so probably really that's not what we want, so we'll just undo all of that. Just click no. So we'll try that again. So edit, free transform. If I hold, press down your shift key, which is the one where you press to get capital letters, and then when you drag it, it will keep the shape correct. It will just make it larger or smaller. Okay, like that. All the sides will move, so you keep proportions and everything looking good. So I can do that, and I can click here and yes. Now if I wanted the word text to appear above the car, remember we just move the layer down, or text up, whichever. So now we can see text is there, the car is here, and the background is below. So that's one image, but that's made up of these different layers. So you can see how the car, we're in the car there, so we can move that around the screen, or whatever we want to do, manipulate it. That's how to bring it from there. Obviously, I don't need to explain how to bring an image from your computer. That's very simple to do. Now, something you'd be wanting to do as well is bring images from example covers. So we'll be doing that shortly, and it's the same sort of thing with that. You can if you can find a cover that you like. What I usually do is if I like a cover, I will go to Google Images, type the name of the cover in there, so I can actually get the .jpeg address, and then what I can do with that is, if I'm back in the editor here, so I'm not going to bring it in as a layer because I'm not going to use it, someone else's book cover in our image, unless it's our own cover, we're entitled to do that. I'm going to open a new image. So again, you've got new image, open on your computer, URL or the library. So say this is a book cover that we've got from, we like the look of, on Amazon. We can simply, so this is the car of course, but we'll paste that in there. Let's seem to be working my shortcuts. So as you can see, it looks bigger, but it's not really. The reason it looks bigger is because it's just brought that image in only. Of course, if it was a book cover, it'd be a different shape to this. But you know, imagine that was the book cover that had certain design features you liked on it, or colors or something, and you wanted to have it sitting here so you can refer to it when you're designing a cover. You know, keep an eye on the style or something that you liked on that cover, and you can bring in the other covers and, you know, various covers. I certainly recommend choosing more than one cover to use examples for using as your design for your book. You know, whether that be the colors, background lettering, or display, or all that sort of thing. Okay, so that's how you bring in images. Just one last point though before I go on this lecture. There is another way of doing it, but that way there is best because that brings in the full the image in its full normal size. Okay, but you can actually, if you want, you can right click an image and you can go click link location. Okay, or should I say, it's not that one, sorry, beg your pardon, it's copy image location, and that will copy the address in. So say I was to I'll close that one a moment. So say I was to bring it in from that, so as my shortcut keys don't seem to be working, click that there. Actually, it's not loading up. But if it had done, so there's a problem sometimes. If it had done it, it would have brought it up small. It wouldn't have brought it at its full size. That's why I like to. So if I like a book cover, I like to search for it on Google Images and get it by clicking on this view image and then copying the address. That's the way I prefer to always get example covers or images of anything I want to use. Naturally, if you're using Fotolia, as I do, these images you would have paid for and downloaded them onto your hard drive, and thereby that would be a simple matter of loading it up by clicking here, open image, or as a layer, open image as layer.